Good morning, Bimblers. And you join me in Rill, at the point where the River Clwyd meets the Irish Sea. You may or may not know that I turned 40 last month, on the 15th of January, and Mrs. Bimble got me a surprise present. She got me a hotel stay, the Grand Hotel in Llandudno. I've always wanted to stay there. I thought she'd be coming with me, but she said she wanted me to film one of my daft videos instead. You know, get me out of the house for a bit. So I thought, what should I go and see on my birthday bimble? And it was obvious. Loads and loads of churches. So let's stop messing about and let's bimble to the Grand Hotel in Llandudno via loads of churches. Let's bimble.
Magnetically brought me to you. Visions that cut through the cold to my heart. Feelings of warmth now resume. Feeling that coming from you. Bursting to blow at the seams of my heart. As if this was love that I felt. Falling for somebody else. Taking my eyes from the ground, turning my heart upside down. As if this could change all the past, fixing the bruise from the last time that I felt anything. As if this was love that I felt, as if this was somebody else. Out in colourful sparks, brought back to light from the dark, broke out in shimmering waves to my heart. Sepia tint but the same, familiar in simplified ways, broke down the lily white scars to my heart. As if this was love that I felt, falling for somebody else, taking my eyes from the ground, turning my heart upside down. As if this could change all the past, fixing the bruise from the last time that I felt anything. As if this was love that I felt, as if this was somebody else. Love that I felt, falling for somebody else, taking my eyes from the ground, turning my...
And so, Bimblers, we reach our first portage, St. Therese of Lisieux's Catholic Church here in Abergele. I've been wanting to visit this church for a while, because it was designed by a chap called Giuseppe Rinvolucri, one of my new favourite church designers. He was originally from Italy, and he came to the UK as a prisoner of war during the First World War. I'd never really thought about it before, so I did a bit of research to find out which side Italy were on during the First World War. And I'm none the wiser. I don't even think that Italy were on Italy's side during the First World War. They didn't like helping their prisoners of war in foreign climes. In fact, they blocked the efforts of the family of those prisoners of war to send them food. Giuseppe Rinvolucri was brought here to Wales, so he would have been well looked after. So well looked after that he stayed. He married a woman round here called Mina Moore. She was originally from Liverpool. She was an art teacher. We discovered Giuseppe Rinvolucri in our Conway 2 Bimble when we visited St Michael and All Angels Church, because Giuseppe Rinvolucri helped install 12 marble tableaus behind the church, embedded in the walls of Conway. They depict the crucifixion. St Therese of Lisieux church here in Abergele was the second of 5 churches that he designed, and I'm rather in love with them. I think they're beautiful. This one's built in the Byzantine revival style, echoing the Basilica of St Therese over in France. St Therese of Lisieux was a French nun. She died aged 24 of tuberculosis. She was described by Pope Pius X as one of the most significant saints of modern times. She must have been something special, because in 1934, 37 years after she died, she had a church named after her in Abergele. But it's double bubble around here. There's another church just over the road, Eglwys Christ, or Christ Church in English. I think it's a Welsh national church. It was designed by a fella called Thomas Roger Smith in 1861. He became very famous for his writings on church architecture. A man after my own heart. But anyway, Bimblers, there's another church just down the way. Let's Bimble. I think I've found the only club I'm going to be going to, Bimblers. Now I'm naughty 40. It's the Old People's Club of Abergele, just outside of St Michael's Church. St Michael's Church is a right old fella as well. This has been religious grounds since the 8th century, but the church that's here now mostly dates from the 14th century. Apparently the roof timbers are the original medieval ones. All very lovely, and we love to come and see it. But all the interesting things around here are in the graveyard. They have a penance stone. That was put there in the 17th century, apparently. You see, if you'd done something wrong, upset people or broke the law, been caught being drunk and disorderly, you would have to stand by the penance stone. Whilst the congregation of the church piled in and out, you would have to beg for mercy and forgiveness. The other interesting thing here at St Michael's Church is a mass grave for 33 people, all of which perished in a railway disaster just at Abergele station. I think we should bimble back down there and go and talk about it. Let's bimble. In 1868, when they had the accident here at Abergele station, it would have been the largest rail-based disaster in UK history. This station would have been pretty new at the time. The line was only opened in 1850, and the main use for the line was taking the Irish mail to Holyhead to be put on ships and taken over to Dublin. They would have also have had passenger carriages on that Irish mail train, taking people off on the holidays to Llandudno like me. On the 20th of August 1868, that Irish mail train was approaching Abergele, and they were doing a rather complicated shunting manoeuvre near Dulas. Got to get used to saying these things correctly, Bimblers. In the rush to get out of the way of the Irish mail train, some of those goods carriages were left uncoupled, including one rather large tanker of paraffin, which unfortunately made its way down the incline towards the oncoming train. As you can imagine, a large tanker full of paraffin hitting an oncoming train. There was rather a large explosion. The whole train and the passenger carriages were engulfed in flames and smoke. Nobody could get anywhere near it to save anybody. 33 people died in that accident, and only 3 of them were identified. And they were identified by things about the person, pocket watches and jewellery, that kind of thing. Hence why there's a mass grave at St Michael's Church here in Abergele. They couldn't identify everyone that was involved in the accident. The brakemen that were in charge of the runaway carriages were actually charged with manslaughter, but when they went to court they were acquitted. I don't think anyone needed to go to prison. I'm sure they felt bad enough. Bit of a downer for my birthday, Bimble. I think we should go to a church to cheer ourselves up. Let's Bimble.
She loves the rain. She loves the rain. It's made in perfect measures, dripping from a seal black sky. Soaking up this perfect treasure, I know it's right. Moods can be lifted the brighter the day. Take the blue skies and I'll take the grey. It's up to the weather, you know that I surely would say. She loves the. You can love the warm, that's okay. You can love the sun in every way. You can love the breeze and blow away. She loves the rain. She loves the. She loves the rain.
And so, Bimblers, we've reached Dulas, not Dulas. I've already pronounced it wrong. Should have known really, because it's not Llandudno, it's Llandudno, isn't it? In Welsh, you pronounce the U as an I. The name Dulas comes from the Welsh word for church, that's the clan bit, and it translates to church by the River Dulas. And this is the River Dulas, floating off into the Irish Sea. I'm not used to little tiny rivers going into the sea like this. I'm used to big estuaries like the Mersey, or the River Ribble, stretching all the way from Lytham to Southport. Of course, Dulas has had a church here since medieval times, but the church here now was built in 1868, and it was commissioned by a chap called Robert Bamford Hesketh. He's the posh chap that lived in that big castle in Abergele. And who did he get to design his church? None other than George Edmund Street. Yes, the fellow who designed the Royal Courts of Justice in London. The fellow who's buried at St Paul's Cathedral, adjacent to your Sir George Gilbert Scott and your Charles Barry. Illustrious company. But he's not the only big name player from round here. We also have a memorial to a fellow who was born here in Dulas. That's Lewis Valentine. Not only does he get a memorial, he gets a pub named after him, the Valentine's Inn. Lewis Valentine was a politician and an author and a Welsh language activist. He definitely wouldn't have liked how I've been pronouncing all these names. On top of all that, he's the fellow that started the political party, Plaid Cymru, so he definitely wouldn't have liked me. Common English fella coming over here calling everything Llandulas and Llandudno. Anyway, it's starting to go dark and we've got things to see, so let's Bimble.
Maybe it didn't work at the time, maybe it never did. A mistake that made the distance, or a trying way to live. Maybe it's the time that you grabbed at my arms and electricity flowed from my shoulders to palms in a white hot glow, leaving white cold scars left bare and unshowed just to prove they were ours. Maybe it worked, maybe it never did, maybe it never was quite like how it is. Maybe it didn't work at the time, maybe it never did. A novelty improvement, left lonely as it gives. Or maybe it's the time that you closed both your eyes and you pouted your lips as you waited for mine in the soft red glow of your soft cold arms. Serotonin burnt holes through my veins to my heart. Maybe it worked, maybe it never did, maybe it never was quite like how it is. Maybe it's the time that I wanted to say that my limbs won't move more than 2 feet away from your day glow side luminescent sparks. I could burst into flames from one beat from your heart. Maybe it worked, maybe it never did, maybe it never was quite like how it is. Maybe it worked, maybe it never did, maybe it never was quite like how it is. And I quite like how it is.
Well, Bimblers, the best laid plans of mice and men. I had meant to go to one last church over in Ross-on-Sea, but as we were bimbling, the street lamps came on, and then the battery went on the GoPro, and I thought, should I change the battery, still try and go to the church? And then I thought, well, we'd be going in the dark, wouldn't we? We wouldn't actually be able to see anything. Luckily for us, as I rode past, I noticed that church would have been a nightmare to get to, up a big hill, and I already had a big hill to get over to get into Llandudno. So we came straight to the hotel. It's rather nice. It gets a bad rap, this grand hotel. I think it's rather nice. Definitely stayed in worse. I'm used to camping out in tents, you know, in the middle of fields and things. This is luxury to me. I've popped to the Sainsbury's to get some provisions. One of the provisions I got was Welsh cakes. Already tried one. You know, keeping up with our Chorley cakes last week. Thought I'd try Welsh cakes, and I can inform you that they're like a flat scone. Very delicious. I don't know whether I prefer it to a Chorley cake. Definitely nice. I'm going to save telling you all about the Grand Hotel for in the morning when we can see it. We might try and go to that church, but Mrs. Bimble's bought me the breakfast and it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, so don't really want to be missing out on that. We might have a look at some stuff in Llandudno, but you never know. We might just ride down the prom, then get on the train and get home. I'm missing my Molly a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to do my very favourite thing to do in a hotel room, which is lie on the bed and watch the telly. I might look out the window as well, I've got sea view.
while committed like the tides, in and left before your eyes. I couldn't count the hours you keep. Hours into days, all the points had passed away until it's only once a week. You know I could have done more. You know I could have tried hard. I know I could have been here. I know I could have broke hearts. Make the plans I wish to keep in the hours before you sleep. If I'd have said goodnight once more.
Well, Bimblers, morning has broken and it's blowing a hoolie. I'd planned to do this piece to camera, sat on the seafront with the Grand Hotel behind me, but I don't like my chances of being able to talk over the wind. But I will be going outside and doing some B-roll footage, which you're no doubt watching right now. This building started its life as a bathhouse with a pier underneath, but it was damaged in a storm in 1859. That storm actually had a name. It was called the Royal Charter Storm. Really bad. 223 ships and 800 people were lost in that storm. Much worse than it is today. Of course, everything was repaired and a new pier was built underneath. That's the one you see today. That's recently been damaged by storms as well. And that bathhouse was extended, but not to the extent that you see it today. The hotel as you see it today opened in 1902, and it was designed by a chap called James Francis Doyle. He was from Liverpool, but he actually died in Warrington. He must have retired there, you know, somewhere posh like Stockton-Heath or Grappenhall. If you don't know the works of James Francis Doyle, he's the fella that designed the White Star Line building in Liverpool. You know, the stripy one. We visited that in a Bimble. That was Warrington's own Titanic Bimble. I think that's a year old now. And for my Widnesian Bimblers, he designed St Ambrose Church in Widnes. And of course he designed this very grand hotel. It's so grand that it's featured on the small screen. There's a plaque outside it that says that the Forsyth Saga was filmed here. And I know that Jimmy Savile drama was filmed round here, you know, the one with Steve Coogan. Because Llandudno played Scarborough in that. Not just the small screen though, Bimblers. It's featured on the big screen as well. There was an Alec Guinness film called The Card that was filmed here. And in slightly more recent times, 1979, a film called Yanks was filmed here. The screenplay for that film was wrote by Colin Welland, a fella from Newtony Willows, and it starred Richard Gere. It got absolutely panned by reviewers at the time, and it was a box office flop. But it's well worth a watch, Bimblers. It's on archive.org. Not sure it's supposed to be, but it is. You should go and watch it, because some of the locations you might recognise, Bimblers. One such location is Moor Lane Swing Bridge, you know, over the Manchester Ship Canal. Richard Gere did some filming round there. That sounds like a joke, but it's actually true. In the film you see the American Army going past in their boats down the Manchester Ship Canal, throwing tins of fruit to all the kids. And Richard Gere's out there with his bird, going through a field of sheep, which doesn't have any sheep in it anymore. In fact, there's a sort of caravan park just round the corner. Anyway, when the Grand Hotel was finished in 1902, it was the largest hotel in Wales. 158 rooms. That's since been extended to 168 rooms. But not all of them have a sea view like mine. Dead posh.